Come on. Come on. How many wins is this for Lampard over Jose Mourinho? I'm saying it straight. Lampard has fully figured out Mourinho. And it's quite easy because Mourinho, for me, and even though I love him as a man, he is outdated tactically. We've outclassed his teams every single time. Lampard's been doing this since Derby, and it continues for this club. Excellent top-class performance today. So many doubts from the players, especially in regards to the lineup. A lot of negativity. People are confused by the 3-4-3, confused by seeing Ross, Barkley and Mount, and many other players as well. Well, today, I felt like everyone's qualms and worries were finally put to rest. Now, 4 points, of course, needs to be extended. We need to get more. We still have many difficult games to come. But I've always said one thing consistently. We cannot diminish or devalue the performances we've been seeing. Because at times, we don't get the results that we deserve. If our performances were shocking, if they were terrible and they were bad, that would make me feel worse for the future. But I can't feel negative. I can only feel optimistic because of the performances I keep seeing from this team. Now, every single top class manager Lampard's faced, for me, I felt like he's been the better manager. Now, with teams like Liverpool and Man City with Pep and Klopp, they've relied upon the quality of their players, but tactically, we outmatched them. We outpossessed Man City. Against Liverpool, we forced them back time and time again, constantly countered through their press time and time again. And of course, against Arsenal, completely schooled Arteta. Mourinho been doing the same thing. I hope this game finally shows everyone that Lampard really is the right manager for us. And I think if you compare and contrast our performance versus Spurs, well, I hope it puts to rest this type of old Chelsea spirit that I think we have to move on from. I mean, looking at Spurs today, yeah, of course, they have no strikers, but come on. Was this the best way they could play against us? Was this the only way they could play against us? It was defeatist from the start. And under managers like Mourinho during their spell with us, we saw these types of games time and time and time again. Well, Lampard's shown us the future. Lampard's shown us why this approach to football is the best way to go, because it tells us in the long run, when you add the excellent quality on top of the excellent football, it's going to dramatically and exponentially improve ridiculously. So honestly, I feel like we're in such exciting times right now. This performance against Spurs is really just cemented for me furthermore that this is the football and approach you're going. But anyway, you guys, I'm in the EFC. This is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a match review of our 2-1 win against Tottenham today. Now, I'm going to be speaking about a ton of things, from the lineup to great moments in the game to great individual performances from your guys like Barkley, your Mounts, your Girouds. I mean, I could go on. This is the Chelsea spirit that we want to see now. Excellent attacking agency. These are the principles I want to see in our football. And of course, you guys, before I even get into anything, I want to just put one more shameless plug in the way. I actually want your thoughts and opinions with this very briefly. Now, in the match preview I did yesterday, I felt like I predicted the 3-4-3 we were going to use. I think I predicted how we were going to play against Spurs perfectly. And I think that would be quite cool to maybe re-release the video again so more people can see that. So if you think that's a good idea, make sure to let me know in the comment section, because I don't want to take the piss or nothing. But anyway, we get straight into things. And the first thing I want to tackle was that team lineup. Now, of course, throughout social media, fans, friends, everything, there was a lot of skepticism in regards to that lineup. I mean, 3-4-3, we're seeing Aspie at the back, where's Zuma, where's Tomori, Emerson, you're seeing Alonso, Ross, Barkley, Giroud up front. You're thinking, okay, can we actually do this? Now, for people that saw my preview, I'm hoping that you would have realized, okay, things are looking quite good. This is the game plan. I understand how we're going to play. And I think this leads on very nicely to two players that I really want to just praise to the fullest today. Ross Barkley and Mason Mount. Now, I'll keep it very real with you. When I saw that Barkley was in the team, I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset because with the game plan to occupy the half spaces, this is the perfect game for a Barkley and a Mount. Barkley is a number 10 at heart. He struggles at helping build up the play. He struggles when the game's tight, but if he can play in a team that has space with freedom where he can move and pick up the ball where he wants, well, you see a different Ross Barkley. And throughout the game today, I mean, just the agency, incredible smart positioning. I loved how him and Mason Mount linked up as well time and time again. And of course, incredible shots on goal throughout. This is what you want to see. This is why I guess Lampard has still been speaking of Barkley in such high praise, because naturally we'd have to rely upon him at times this season. Today, we needed him. He came through. Excellent performance from Barkley. And I think now the other guy that I just want to praise lavishly and for me, easily the man of the match, that was Mason Mount. Now, one thing I want to say, I understand some of this criticism in regards to Mason Mount. You know, of course, at times his impact on the ball, some of the quality hasn't been perfect. Now, for me, there's always reasons as to why we see the end product that we do. And as I've stressed, it's purely been tactical. And think about it like this, of course, when Mason Mount's been playing that number 10 role, which really is a shadow striker, support striker role, he's playing in a team that has your Pulisic, your Hudson-Odois and your Williams. And naturally with wingers like this, they need to cut inside, they need to play between the lines, that's how they like to play. But you can't have 3 players operating in those areas because things become overcrowded. So naturally it means that Mason Mount's 10 role becomes very different to accommodate having inside forwards in the team and your Pulisic, your Mounts, your Hudsons cutting inside into those areas. And because of that, it's meant that we haven't seen a lot of aspects of Mason's game throughout the season. We've seen a certain aspect which has been his movement in behind and what he has to fulfill for the system tactically. If you play him in his natural role, if you play him as a number 10, a creative 10, you see a completely different player because Mason Mount is the modern day number 10. His ability to find intelligent positions constantly, he has a turn of pace, he's a step ahead of the play every single time, which we saw in full effect time and time again. I mean, let's not forget that moment in the second half where he completely just flicked the ball over Vertonghen and unfortunately wasn't able to get an assist he deserved from that passage of play. And that's been the story of Mount's month for me. Incredible pieces of play, not getting the end product it deserves. With Mount playing as a 10, the way he receives the ball is completely different because now, of course, him being a focal part of the attack means that he's going to command more attention from the players, he's going to get more passes, and that's what Mason needs because he's a very creative player. And I'm really hoping now that we finally see the light, we finally realise the qualities he has, we finally look at his game, and we talk about how he's going to improve instead of the things that people think he can't do. He has the mentality to play for this club. He's a born winner and he plays like one. Boy is a serious player. And for me, as I said, easily the man of the match. Now, I want to speak about the decisive moments in the game today. We start with Olivier Giroud, and you know what? We have to remember what Lampard said because before the United game, after the United game, there was a lot of heavy criticism. Lampard confirmed that Giroud hasn't been fully match fit. That's why he hasn't been able to turn him in consistently. Today, it was quite evident near the end that Giroud was lacking fitness because his game was becoming uncharacteristically sloppy. But in the first half, and the half that really mattered the most, he was the perfect focal point up front that we needed. And if he gets his fitness back up, you'll be seeing a lot more of Olivier Giroud. With Ruben returning, and with us understanding that Giroud is a player that needs movement in front of him to do what he does, he's only going to get more game time. And if I'm Giroud, I'd feel confident that I'm going to get a French spot for the Euros next year. But anyway, Giroud took his goal extremely well. I mean, that left foot, what a goal. I mean, especially after that move, because we were thinking, oh my God, after an amazing passage of play, we still aren't going to get the goal. But this was the experience coming into factor. This was the quality coming into factor. Great goal with the left foot. Nice early shot in the bottom corner. And I just thought he worked in tandem with Barkley and Mason Mount extremely well in that first half. Another player too that deserves a lot of respect today is Marcos Alonso. His best game this season. And it continues the story of this season where he has been a very reliable player, if we're being very objective and fair. Of course, at times he has his games, but over the season, he has been very reliable. Today, excellent. And honestly, playing as a wing-back really suits him because in that sense, he doesn't have the physicality to cover so much ground by himself. But if he has a defender behind him, if he has support in front of him, well, that's when you can see Marcos Alonso's movement in great effect. Was testing the goal, testing the reefs with some amazing shots today. And when he scored that second goal, you guys, I was off my seat. I was going mad in my flat. I was just going completely mental. What a goal. Finally, after 6 pieces of play, we finally put a goal at the end of it. It's what I wanted to see. First time left foot shot, incredible technique, top performance today. Marcus Alonso today, hats off to you. Very good performance. Now, to be honest, I don't really feel like talking about the goal that we conceded in the end. I don't really care about that because there's more positive things to talk about. To be honest, the only small negative I'll be focusing on today was the shocking, disgraceful officiating, which is constantly ruining VAR. Now, I don't know how in God's good gracious name that Lo Celso was a player that finished the full 90 minutes. I mean, how many yellow card fouls did he constantly make throughout? When I saw the referee saying, oh, your 4th foul, you get a booking now, I was thinking, are you crazy? So you've been seeing this and you've been dismissing it. Of course, earlier on that incident with Mason Mount where he clearly lashed out the player, when you're a referee supposed to step in, you show the player the card, and that means he's going to come correct later on. What happens afterwards? A disgusting tackle on Azpilicueta. Disgusting tackle. I don't know how that stupid VAR team, the group of guys like that, can see that incident from multiple angles and come to that stupid conclusion. I keep saying it's human error ruining this technology. I don't know how these guys are trained. I don't understand it. But it feels like these refs are trying to do psychology all the time, trying to get in the player's head. No, you're not a psychologist, bro. You're a referee. Do your job. How many times are we going to pay the price for this? It's starting to get ridiculous now. But negative part out of the way, we move back to more positive things. And I think one positive that we have to realise too is Frank Lampard, because at times I feel personally that he can feel a bit let down. Maybe let down's it's a bit too strong of a word, but maybe he's felt a bit let down by the end products on show. Because what the plan is we want to overload the team. We want to get those goals quick, because as we saw in the second half against Spurs, we'll move back into our own half. We'll keep our position to get ready for counter-attacking opportunities. And how many counter-attacks nearly brought goals in that second half? That's what Lampard is trying to do. At times it's very difficult. So many injuries, losing players at the wrong time every single time, having to find new solutions with the players that he has at his disposal. I feel like we have to be more sympathetic. We have to understand that this season has been a struggle, but unlike managers like Mourinho, who in moments like this, they're very defeatist, very negative. They feel like it's time to shut up shop and not believe in the players that you have in the team. Lampard rejects those principles. He's not about that. It's not an excuse for him. If you're playing for this club, no matter if you're a first team player, squad player or backup, it means you're good enough. And if you're good enough, it means that you have to show your quality when you're given the opportunity. That's what Lampard stands for. That's his principles. And that's what I've always wanted in a Chelsea manager. You guys, big win today. Bayern Munich, bring them on. People are going to write us off as usual, but this is Chelsea Football Club, baby. We've been written off our whole lives. We should be used to that as fans. And that's when you get us in our best element. You guys, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm very excited. Expect there to be a player ratings video later on after this match review. And on that note, I'm going to see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. Come on, Chelsea. I'll see you guys in a bit.